Right, you've heard the story of a helpless poor girl in the university that graduated by the grace of God. Some people are not so lucky. Some of them had to drop out of school. Some of them had to like spend extra years because of not giving it. And this is what we want to address today. I have as guests some powerful guests in the house, like I told you before. Professor Samuel Tamiri is the Dean Faculty of Business Studies, Ignatius Ajuru University, Port Harcourt. Prof, you're welcome.
Thank you, Michelle.
I also have Ms. Jennifer Amadi, a student of Gender and Development Studies, Uniport. Jennifer, you're welcome.
Thank you so much.
The last but not the least, Mr. Cosmas Augustine Udom. He is a lecturer Auburn University, Akwa Ibom. He's a young, fine lecturer, and I'll really be on his case today. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much, ma'am.
Okay, my name is Rachel ONAH. From now till 3 o'clock, we'll be doing this. Stay with us. What?
Why is this side not showing?
Which side?
Nice.
Maybe it's the way they... But it's going out. All right, remember the program is Women Voices for Peace, and today we're looking at sex for grades. You watched the trending video of the BBC. It's still online. So based on that and the researches we have made, we decided to talk about it on the show today. Let me start with the prof, because he's been lecturing for long, Professor Tamiri. Prof, can you share with us how long have you been teaching? For how long have you been lecturing?
I've been in this job for more than 3 decades now.
Okay, that's like 30 years.
32 years.
Wow.
And still counting.
Okay, so you've seen it all about sex for grades. So can you share some of your experiences with us? But from the student angle, because I know it's not a one-way thing. You know, this sex for grades, looking at it from the angle of the lecturer and from the angle of students asking for it, because some female students actually ask for it. So, Prof, you may like to share your experience with us.
Michelle, thank you. You have actually solved out a part of the puzzle.
Okay.
The story everywhere is sex for grade. I will tell you boldly that it does exist. There are lecturers who are in the business of asking students to sleep with them before they pass. Including the brilliant ones who can write the exam and pass.
That's the most painful aspect.
They are coerced into sleeping with these lecturers.
I'm surprised to hear this from you, Prof. You mean it does exist?
It does exist.
You're not denying it.
I'll be going to hell now if I say it does not exist.
So it really exists?
It does exist.
Okay.
It does exist. I have had calls as a very senior teaching colleague to caution, to punish colleagues for this kind of situation. Like I said, I've been there for about 32 years now. This is my 33rd year as a lecturer. I entered teaching as a very young person. You can imagine something I started more than 3 decades ago. Now, but Richard, you see, from what you have already said, I have my own perspectives of looking at this sex for grades. There is sex for grades from above.
Okay.
And there is sex for grades from below.
So tell us, what's the above and the below?
Okay. when lecturers and senior administrative staff, there are big administrative staff who go getting these students. They ask for this sex, and they still go get you as lecturers, either cajole you to helping the students, you know, or do one thing or the other.
So the administrative staff, they are serving like middlemen.
Okay, kind of, but they are the people receiving the kindness from the young girls.
Wow.
Fine. There is sex for grace from above, lecturers and other non-teaching staff. There is also sex for grade from below. The students themselves take the greater part of this responsibility of luring lecturers to have sex with them to pass. And I want to say that even if you take it even from the angle of the students, the lecturers are to blame. Because if you are a lecturer with integrity, if you know you are what you're earning, and these children come, you have all it takes to resist them and do what is right. So whichever angle you take it from, the lecturer is at fault. But I tell you something, Richard, most of these sex for grade activities are initiated by students themselves. These female children. Richard, you were in the university, and a good number of us here, all of us here, were in the university. You cannot beat your chest and deny now that while you were in the university, you didn't have this crop of girls who have no business with reading, they have no business with serious academic job. Their business is how to conquer lecturers. And their only instrument for conquering these lecturers is a gift of sex. All that is their business is how do they pass? What do they do to make sure they get the grade they want and go away? We know these things exist. But in Nigeria, we have taken it from only one side. Lecturers ask students for sex to give them grade. It is true. I can't deny that. It does happen. But that we should also recognize that there is sex for grade from below, where the students themselves initiated. And I have experienced such things.
Hold it. The program is still very much alive. You share your experiences with us. Now, Jennifer, you are a student, a female student at that. So you're doing your postgraduate now. What has been your experience? Have you seen cases of sex for grades while in school?
Yeah, sure. I think I won't really mention names. Like in my current study, I've been dealing with a case of sex for grade of an undergraduate student. But be, I may not share it right now because yes, the case is still ongoing. So just like Prof said, sex happen. People ask for sex. I'm a female, and I've had incidents. People asking for sex and all of that. But I think the story we heard, that initial story, she said something, say, but I was bold. Yes, and that is essentially where I'll be taking it from this conversation. But however, as much as I believe that we'll have the sex for grade from the above and below, but one thing I know, no matter how anyone dresses, just like the case of sex for grade is a case of rape. Rape is rape. So if you see someone stark naked, that doesn't call for rape. That doesn't call for you to rape the individual, even if the person is nudely dressed. So what I'm trying to say in excess is that however the students appear, I am not advocating for them to dress indecently, but what I am advocating is that the lecturers themselves, the guardians who are working in the school, with the responsibility of mentoring the student in terms of teaching, should be able, to hold their urges, their sexual urges, no matter how they see the student indecently dressed.
Okay. I have a young and fine lecturer here, Mr. Cosmos Augustine Udom, lecturing in a private university, Obong University. Mr. Udom, you want to share your experience with us?
Thank
You're
you very
handsome.
much.
First of all, has any female student ever flaunted herself with you?
Yeah, I can't disagree that, just like Prof said, that sex for grade is real and it's happening everywhere, both in the private and the public universities. So, but my experience, I'm going to share it from this way. Now, we have victimization for sex, the ones who lecturers victimize students because they want to get sex from them, and the ones who officially ask the students out for sex. Now, the victimization part comes this way. Oh, because you didn't do well in my exams, and a student comes to you, or you go to the students in both ways. You tell the students, come, you need to do this, you need to do that. If you don't do this, if you don't do that, definitely you're going to fail. And in the other aspect, the official asking out, you're asking a student, come, oh, hello, young girl or pretty lady, I like you, I want to go out with you, I want to date you, and so on and so forth. So these are the two perspectives that I'm coming from. But in real sense and in reality, sex for grade exists in the universities. And in the private universities, although the percentage is very low, but it happens. So what happens in the private universities is, we have a crop of young students who are just coming in, probably in their ages of 16, 17, 18, and in their 20s. It's just like you're releasing a cat from the back.
From bondage.
Yeah, from bondage. Students who didn't have freedom in their parents' house, and out there. They are here. Oh, I want to experience those things I didn't experience. I want to do those things and I didn't do. Actually, you see, if you're teaching, you see a student who is coming in half naked, who is coming in improperly dressed. But personally, what I do when I first such is that I will tell you, go. You need to go back to the hostel or to your room, dress properly, and come back. Then, if you're coming in, and I will allow you in. And the other aspect, if I'm teaching, you see students who are opening their legs, who are not dressed well. And
yes, that was some of the things you've seen. You were sharing some things with me.
Yeah, personally, what we do is, what I do personally is that if you're confronted with this, I go to the back of the class.
If you're confronted with what?
Now, students who are opening their legs, if you're teaching,
they do it consciously.
Yeah, they do it consciously.
They'll sit at the front seat.
Yeah, they'll sit at the front seat and come late. To be sincere, yeah, we know those ones. They come late and they would like to take the front seat. So what I do personally is that I get to the back of the class, and that's where I stand to teach. And after the class, I will call you personally to warn you. Come, what you did is bad. So you need to change from what you're doing. Next class, don't come in with this and all that. So that's what we experience in the private university, although the case may not be the same like what's happening in the public university. But I agree with Prof that sex for grades in universities exist.
All right, Prof. You want to share some experiences you've had with us. You were discussing something with me before we came on air.
Okay. Yes.
Both from students and from lecturers. You said your phone is full.
I have put my phone off because of this program.
Okay.
Otherwise,
maybe I'll play instrumental. Then you put it on.
Don't worry. I can tell you the experience.
Okay, go ahead.
I told you of a story, that happened on Thursday. Just on Thursday, this past Thursday, when a lady walked into my office, dressed in a very careless manner, with the full intention of coming to seduce me. I watched her. She's in final year now. She was taught the course I teach by another lecturer in marketing. When she was in the 200 level, she got to 300 level. I taught her. She failed when she was in 200 level. When she was taught by another lecturer. At 300 level, I taught her. She failed. Now she's in final year. And she has come to take the course again. She's billed to repeat the course. And she has not attended class one day. She didn't do any of the assignments. She didn't take part in the test. But the exam is going to start on Monday. All our exams will start on Monday for 100 level and 200 level students. And this course is a 200 level course. And this very beautiful, charming lady walked in, almost with a bare, full breast and everything, with the kind of skirt one would describe as hot skirt.
Difficult to resist.
And you need to see her flaunting, and there was nothing she didn't show me, asking me boldly why I find it difficult to appreciate her. I looked at her and I told her, look, my friend, it is high time you left this place. You didn't take the test. You didn't take your assignments. You didn't do anything. You didn't attend the class one day. For a class, you have already failed twice. And now you want to pass by all means. And I told her, baby, I choose my ladies. My ladies don't choose me. At this age, I should know what I want. Please, can you bow out quietly and go? And she left. Richard, within the period she stayed in my office, there was no part of her body I did not see.
For real?
There was no part of the body she did not flaunt, she did not show. I also told you of a text message I had. A lady who is in her postgraduate program in my class, and she claims to be sick, and that she cannot come out to write her exam, and that the kind of sickness she has is the type that may not allow her to dress properly, that I should arrange a place where, that she doesn't want to fail her exam. I have the test, and maybe I can show you. I have the test here, that she doesn't want to come out, to take, she cannot wear her clothes to come out to take the exam, but she doesn't want to fail her course.
Meaning?
That I should arrange a place where she can
write the exam privately.
She can come, maybe using some wrapper to cover herself so she can write the exam. I read the test to her classmates on Friday. when I ended
But
my
you didn't
class
mention
with
her name.
I even mentioned her name to her classmates that look at so and so person. Because she was not also in that class when we were concluding. I had to go to that extent because when once this particular child runs into problem with her result,